Hi everyone, it's me. I'm back to do another video. I wanted to talk about the whole Botham Jean situation. If you don't know about, I don't know whether it's Botham or Botham. He was a guy who was born in St. Lucia. He moved to America and he was killed last week in Detroit by a police officer. Now this female cop basically said that she got confused and went into the wrong apartment. Now Botham was in his own apartment complex, his own. And this police officer, he's claiming that she thought it was her apartment, even though you would have thought like, oh yeah, you're gonna break into someone's house. You would have thought, oh, let me look. The furniture is not the same. The interior is probably not the same either, but yet that's what she was claiming. And she killed Botham because she said that, oh, he was in her apartment. The funny thing is, those apartments, they have, like flats here in the UK, they have key fobs, and that apartment also had a key fob. So she used that key fob continuously and it did not work. And apparently some of the neighbours have said that they overheard her screaming and banging on the door, open up. And he opened up the door and she shot him straight away. But yet previously she had stated that she tried to use the key fob and she managed to get in the house. So it wasn't the right key fob, but yet you was able to get into the house. Now if you know anything about key fobs, like you put it on the little scanner thing, and if it's not the right one, it will not work. Okay, so I don't understand how she felt that excuse was okay. Now this is another case of a white police officer killing a black man or a black person, and people think people are on her side, and I'm like, what kind of madness is this? And what makes it worse is because this whole situation, because Botham was born in St. Lucia, it's now impacted upon the Caribbean community because we've not really experienced this before. At least in America, in the UK, we can talk about Somali culture and loads of other people of Caribbean descent who have died in police custody. But in America, it is many African Americans who are the ones who are impacted mainly by being murdered by the police. And now because this Caribbean guy in America has been murdered by a police officer, now we can kind of see, now they can kind of have a bit of a connection. You can kind of see, well, before we had this little idea in the head that, oh, it doesn't really impact upon us, even though we're black too and we do feel it didn't really impact upon us. But now for it to be such a massive case, it really does affect us, And it's so sad because like all the lies that just keep coming out of her mouth to excuse what she did. You murdered someone. Keep it book and keep it 100. You murdered someone. And I'm not here to say that all white people within the police force in America or here in the UK are racist. I don't believe that. However, as an institution, the institution is racist. And that is one thing that people don't seem to understand. The institution itself is racist. It's not going to take one or two people to change the institution of the police force. It is going to take a whole structural change that will make a difference so that black people will not feel afraid. I mean, think about it. People typically tend to stay at home more because they feel like they're going to be in danger on the outside. However, now someone comes into your house in the middle of the night claiming that it was their apartment, and now you don't even feel safe in your own house. Black men can't even be safe in their own house. Black women can't even be safe in their own house. Black children can't be safe now. I mean, it reminds me of the case of that little black girl a couple of years ago in America. I've forgotten her name. But police officers burst into the house, and that little girl, I believe she was 7 years old, they shot her dead. I don't even remember the exact reason why they even came in. I think it was her grandmother's house or something like that, why they even came into the house in the first place. However, that little girl is dead and no justice was done for her at all. Now with Botham Jean, the police officer, the female police officer who murdered him, has been charged with manslaughter. I don't see that as justice. It was murder. She broke into his house. Let's keep it, but she broke into the man's house at night time and she murdered him, and they're calling it manslaughter. Is that what you're calling justice? I mean, I suppose you could claim it's better than what usually happens, where a police officer kills a black person, nothing really happens. Like, the bookie's not even thrown at them, does like nothing. No jail time, no losing their job, nothing. Actually, the most that happens is they do lose their job and then that's it. Or they get put on desk duty, but they're still getting paid. So it's just like, what is even the point? But manslaughter, it's like, what is even a point of that? I mean, I guess it's something. Because if you think about manslaughter charges, it does have some time in jail, but it's not enough. It should be a murder charge. She should be going to jail for murder, because that's what it is. And it's just very, very disappointing that they don't see it like that. They're claiming it's manslaughter because she thought it was her apartment. Like, what kind of bullshit? Even though the neighbours specifically said that she was banging on the door and telling him to open up. What was that? And another thing that's really irritated me is people are passing around this meme or meme or whatever you pronounce it on the internet, trying to say, oh, because he was posing with 3 women, and they're trying to say, oh, he was having an affair with a white woman, and if he had stayed away from white women, this would have never happened. None of those women in that picture was the one who murdered him. Those women were 3 brunette women. The police officer who murdered him was a blonde woman. You have to be very, very fucking careful before you spread false information. This is what pisses me off. You lot are saying you're so-called pro-black and knowledge is power, but yet you're spreading around false information. How can you claim knowledge is power when you spread around false shit, fake shit? That is not even relevant. Yes, he was in a picture with 3 white women. From what I believe, those were his work colleagues. And to make it worse, the guy was 26 years old. That is still very young, very, very young. 26 years old, and his life is now over because of a whatless bitch who can't even tell which apartment is hers. And apparently her apartment was like above his or below his or something like that. Like, for God's sake. Shit is not adding up here. I don't know what it is, but shit is not adding up here. Now, he may have known her or something, but still, that's still not adding up. So you lot need to be very careful before you spread around false information about what's going on. Yeah? Because to be quite honest, if you don't know the full facts, you really should not be talking at all. And especially to demonize a black man by sitting there and accusing him of so-called being in a relationship with this white woman when you don't even have no proof of that, but yet you want to sit there and talk about it anyway. It shows more about you than it does him. So yeah, let's say his name, Botham Jean. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing that right, but you know. Let's say his name. Let's not forget. And let's not just get pissed off because he's died now, and then we're going to wait a couple of months and then someone else is going to die and then we're going to get pissed off. No, we need to not be forgetting these people. Sandra Bland and all these people who have died over the years. We need not be forgetting Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin. We need not to be forgetting them. And also the people here in the UK, like I mentioned, Smiley culture. Because when you forget about them, that's when the white institutions win. So don't ever forget. Don't ever forget you're a black person, because that skin is there for a reason. Do you understand? That melanin is there for a reason, and they're trying to exterminate us. And you need to be you need to be very, very careful. Okay, that's exactly why I don't want to live in the UK for the rest of my life. And I will be addressing that fully in another video. I've done one last year, I believe, and I'm going to do another one soon. All right, bye.